Blessings, greetings. Thank you for joining me again. Last video was Midnight Musings, one of my first videos in that series, and I plan to do more, which that would be wonderful to see you all there for that again soon. But today I wanted to talk about how I had this deep insight, kind of like an answer to a lot of the suffering and pain that I'd been having over the years, and it was kind of, it's hard to explain, but more or less a deep feeling and a knowing that you were never intended to suffer this much in life, and that your inner child is crying out to be heard and to be loved and to be nurtured. And we sometimes and oftentimes neglect that part of ourselves, and instead we beat ourselves up and tell ourselves that we're not good enough and that we maybe deserve the pain that we're in or the suffering that we're going through, and we don't ever deserve any abuse or any real suffering, actually. And life is hard, definitely. There's suffering and pain for sure, but I guess the deeper insight was just it washed over me a few months back, and I haven't made a video about it, but I just felt like called to do so today. So but yeah, I just felt like sharing this insight that washed over me. And I was sitting on the couch and I just felt like my inner child, like the little boy was like when I was a child, kind of speaking through me, and I saw myself as a child again, and I was thinking, like, that innocent boy does not deserve to go through the amount of suffering that I've put myself through my own, compulsive negative patterns of thought, narratives and lenses that I had looked through in courses of my life, periods of my life, and then also anything that has happened to me that I felt was unfair, unjust, obviously. And this is not a pity party at all. This is not a victimization. This is not that at all. It was just a realization that you don't have to hold on to that pain and that suffering, and that victimization exactly is what you are releasing. And so it's just this detoxification, this release, this purification of negative, yucky feelings. And because when you address it with your inner child and you realize, yes, she does not, or they do not deserve to feel this amount of pain and suffering. And obviously everyone experiences pain and suffering differently, and processes trauma differently, and heals at a different rate and in their own way. And I mean, we're all healing, and I'm not trying to say that we should ever not be healing or done. We should ever be done healing. I think healing sometimes happens in a cyclical way, where you'll feel like you were over something and then it comes back all back again. And I think that we're reprocessing, and that's fine. But I do feel that we can release ourselves from this, this baggage that we hold on to, and also the blame and the shame and the guilt that we put upon ourselves from not living up to the expectations that we or other people have put upon us, that maybe we've held ourselves back partially due to the fact that we've had this shame or guilt burdening us, because we've been beating ourselves up and being hard on our inner child. And maybe we haven't forgiven ourselves for being hard on ourselves and not being able to get over some things from the past. And so because we've been hurt in the past, perhaps, or we've hurt ourselves, I guess is what I'm trying to say, by not being able to be as resilient as others, perhaps. And so we've come down on ourselves, maybe internally, unknowingly or knowingly, where we have these negative perspectives of ourselves, and it's not helpful. And so we can address that and realize that yes, like we're all human, we all heal at our own rates, and basically you can forgive yourself for being so hard on yourself, because the past is in the past now, and the future hasn't occurred, so we're always in the now. And so since we're always in the now, this moment is full and brimming of opportunities that await for us to realize. And once we realize in any given moment the opportunities that await us that are there and for the taking, then we can in turn reinvent and change and reprogram our thinking and how we view the world and what's possible, and how we can heal in different ways, and in ways that are more radical, so we can thrive and get over the past quickly, and not to say that we're always that we're going to be healed forever or something, but it's more that we can see it from a different lens, and we can kind of like I said in the beginning, address what the inner child's been needing. Because once the inner child gets it's recognition that yes, you didn't deserve to suffer that much, but now I love you, I forgive you for being sad and not being able to move on, and my ego has stopped blaming you and blaming my inner child and blaming myself as an adult for not meeting up to my expectations or societal expectations and norms. So you can get over these hurdles within, and then start trying to do things slightly different in your life and feel a little bit more free to explore and be more creative. And what I've realized after being more forgiving toward myself and humble, in a sense that I look at my past, and I don't necessarily regret anything. I look at it as, well, I learned a lot. And so you have to kind of, instead of looking at failure as a negative, you have to look at it as a stepping stone toward seeing what didn't work. And so it's really nothing is a mistake in that sense. Excuse me, I have to have a sip of my turmeric latte. But yeah, I've had a long journey of many different jobs, and I've been a life coach for the past 3 years now, and I love it. And it's been a real honor to be able to help people from all different backgrounds all around the world with various different issues. And I've had anxiety my whole life, and had a lot of different issues with insecurity and feeling like imposter syndrome. And so it's taken me many years of healing. And back to what I was saying there, is that I had to undergo a deep process of letting go and reprogramming my unconscious and subconscious mind and my way of looking at myself. And once I watched Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, video series on YouTube, it really just changed my life, and I felt so renewed and whole doing her practice and her daily exercises, where she encourages you to look in the mirror and say, I love myself, I love you, often, and also to just forgive yourself and others for everything that's happened or been done to you, or that you've done to anyone else, or that you've done to yourself. And you have to forgive yourself and not hold on to this pent up anger and resentment or guilt or shame anymore. And it's not serving us anymore to be back in that negative place. So it's just this kind of weaving all of this past stuff that I've learned. But I really had a reinvention then, and I was already kind of on this spiritual awakening path, and that was probably like a little bit prior to like the real spiritual awakening. But I felt like I've always been a very spiritual person. Ever since I've been a child, I've been a very sensitive, aware person, and kind of a loner and a deep thinker. and I overthink too sometimes, and so I'm gonna have a video on that coming up if you want to watch one of those. was videos on overthinking. I'm planning to release one on that as well, and also one on anxiety and how I've healed from anxiety. So stay tuned for those two videos coming up in the near future. But yeah, I just wanted to come on today and just talk a little bit about a healing awareness that came over me, insight that was very healing, and I want everyone to, you know, just tell themselves you'd never deserved this amount of suffering. You never deserved it, and your inner child is loved, and I send you love, and your inner child love. And from my heart to yours, just know that you're never alone, and that there is a deep knowing and inner well of peace, and you can have this knowing and a feeling of peace, and just this lasting knowing that everything's going to be okay. And so if you invite peace into your life and choose peace now, then you can invite love and peace and gratitude. And once you're into your life, and once you're in a state of gratitude and thankfulness, then you can change your outlook, and the pain and suffering that you were in is harder to focus on when you're happier and you're thinking about the things that you love in your life, and the things that have brought you joy, and the things that bring you joy on a daily basis, and the things that you're thankful for. And so we often take for granted a lot of the wonderful things in our life, and so it's important to always remember that and to stay connected, and that's what gets us back into the connected with the moment now. And so whenever you feel like you're not in the moment and being present, that's one way that, you know, I suffer from always being in the moment too, because I'm a deep thinker. So but it doesn't always mean that you're not in the moment when you're processing. Just kind of remember to, you know, step back into this reality. And obviously we're all creating our own realities all the time, and that's what this is about, is being able to create a reality that you love, that you want for yourself, that you've always dreamed of, and you can. And it just takes being more conscious and aware moment by moment. And it's always okay to not be present, and to just be human, and to get lost in your thoughts and the negative stuff too. But being able to just slowly bring these awarenesses more gradually and continually into your life, then you'll start noticing that you're going to be pivoting from one side of the pendulum to the other, or more into the middle more, rather than swinging from one side to the other as often. So you'll be able to kind of be more neutral in the way that you fluctuate in your life from different things, and your moods and whatnot, and your seasons won't be as drastic. So but yes, just sending everyone lots of healing energy, lots of love and joy and bliss, and just, you know, bring that into your heart and today, and be grateful for everything you have, and tell your inner child again that I love you, you are loved, you are whole. The things that happen to you, yes, or whatever, you know, you feel that was unfair to you, you didn't deserve it. And mainly it's this awareness that your inner child is pure and innocent and whole, and so are you. And so it's very unfortunate that these pure beings must undergo so much pain and suffering, but just know that you were never meant to have to endure it. And maybe we were, but we were never meant to be victims of any of it. And obviously harsh suffering and people victimizing you is not okay, but life is thus a reality that we'll suffer. And so another awareness that I've had for many years through Pema Chodron's book The Places We Fear is that you must embrace a deep gratitude and thankfulness for the journey that you're on, rather you're suffering or in joy, and try to find joy in the suffering, and to be grateful and thankful to just be alive, to be feeling anything, even if it's pain or suffering, because at least you're alive to experience it and to feel anything. And so and then to be able to learn and grow from the suffering is a beautiful gift, rather than to whine and cry and wish it away. I mean, obviously we don't want it, but if you can change your perspective while you're on the rocky parts of the trail, then that'll obviously get you over, and you'll learn more in the process too, so, and more successfully through the past. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me again for one of my videos. This one, I'm still working on the title, but this is more on you. Oh yeah, you never deserved to undergo this much suffering, your inner child in you. So remember, don't victimize yourself, and try to forgive yourself for holding on and being hard on yourself for anything. And know that you have the freedom to change your life in any moment, in any direction you want. So go out there and explore, try new things. Don't be afraid to try something that you haven't done before, that even if you're not great at it. I just created a song the other day on the guitar. I don't know chords. I'm not a guitarist professionally. My father is, but I just sang and went with what I was feeling and just made up something. And so I think that we all could just be more free to, push our ego aside and just, it doesn't have to be posted. I did like what I made and I posted it, and so on BandLab. But I think that we all need to be okay with exploring things and trying and even sharing what we've done, even if it's not perfect. Life isn't about mastering things completely. It is to some degree, but at the same time it's about exploring and having fun, and we shouldn't be afraid to try something because we don't think we'd be good at it. Maybe we would have fun exploring this new hobby or a form of art or whatever it may be, and doesn't mean you have to be perfect at it. So anyway, another video perhaps, but well, thank you again, and a wonderful day to you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Blessings. If you liked this video and you'd love to book a session with me, then the link down below will get you to my website, where we can have a little free discovery session, and then we can see if we're a good match, and we could go from there and start booking one-on-one sessions if you'd like to do that. Link is below in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.